Well, folks, this is the best show on Blog Talk and the best show on the internet. Shut up! Nobody, and I mean nobody, tackles issues like inflammatory talk. Shut up! And Mr. Midnight Movie. Shut up! And Jewish producer.
Hello, son.
Shut up! We tackle the things that nobody tackles.
Hello, son.
The man's answers.
Hello, son.
Stop walking on eggshells. Shut up!
Hello, son.
Goofy Bone can get off his bloviated fat enchilada ass and start talking about La Raza.
Hello, son.
Jocking it. Pimp Daddy Joe P. Jocking it. Pimp Daddy Joe P.
Whipping the skippy all day long.
We're making a movie about white guilt. We're going to examine all these facts. Shut up! The civil rights movement today basically protects criminals.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
We're making a movie about white guilt.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
Shut up! We're making a movie about white guilt.
Done in a beautiful fashion. The documentary, at the same time, both prose and poetry.
It's not the noble movement that it was.
I'm above you on all these issues. I've been to the military. I have served in the capacity to protect your rights to bloviate. To protect your rights to bloviate.
Who are you to tell me what my style is, you meth addict?
I've been to the military.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
I'm above you on all these issues.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
You haven't served in the military. In fact, you wouldn't be fit for the military.
I'm a racist, and I don't consider myself an especially evil person.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm a better man than you are.
You're a narcissist. We've established that.
Okay, stop interrupting me. You could not defend the very rights you enjoy. You are the ultimate invalid.
I put stock in you.
I'm wondering if your solutions isn't on Debbie Daily show.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Money. I'm into aviation. Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
Man boobs.
Shut up!
I see why Sick the Tank daddies kicked his ass and kicked him out of the house early on.
Man boobs.
Shut up!
I'm going to talk over you as loud as I can. I've got my speaker full blast to blow you away.
Shut up!
Mr. Midnight Movie.
My name is Delano. I have killed Mr. Midnight Movie. I've stabbed that son of a bitch.
This is
Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
tired.
Money.
Power.
Money.
Hi everybody, welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. 2 days ago, Brenton Tarrant, an Australian man in New Zealand, attacked Muslims inside a mosque, together with 2 accomplices who attacked an Islamic center. This resulted in a big massacre where 49 people died and more than 40 were injured. I wanted to publish a video about Dawah strategies today, but since this has been going on, I thought it would be just appropriate to talk about this and all the stuff that has been going on.
All right, so you know what that is, Mr. Midnight Movie?
Oh, yes.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Inflammatory Talk. You're here with Mr. Midnight Movie and Jewish producer. You call it something else. Inflammatory but diplomatic.
Yes.
Mr. Midnight Movie.
Yes. I'm the inflammatory and diplomatic Mr. Midnight Movie. Can people really change? And you know what? At first, I was going to say not really, but there are times when it does happen. And the gentleman that you were just playing has changed. And there are people who are like they change. Like there are people who are, you know, like I'm no longer an SJW, and they have kind of an awakening of sorts when they're like maybe, you know, like they're always like ex-neo-Nazis, ex-Klansmen. So there are times when people do change certain ideologies, but how often, I wonder, do people change their bad habits?
Right, and that was a video about the Christchurch incident. But you know what? I scooted off of that page, and then I lost the darn video. I don't know where it's at now.
Well, I can always pull that video up again. I mean,
okay.
It's...
I wasn't sure if you wanted to play it anyways, but yeah, a very interesting choice of topics. I mean, that's, you know, I think everyone wants to believe, at least, that they could change. Nobody wants to think they're stuck as being like their mom and their dad. Doesn't mean they'll change to be something any different. But people they don't, you know what I'm saying, right? I don't know about you, but the last thing I wanted to be when I grew up was my mom and my dad. You know.
Yeah. And wouldn't you say? I mean, would you say you're more like your mom or more like your dad?
Wow. I think about that sometimes. So I think it's it's a tough call there. I see so many traits that my dad possesses that I do. So many things that my mom does. So it's really tight. I would say overall, maybe a little bit more like my dad.
Yeah. You know what? I notice. And once my parents passed away, I kind of noticed even more, like, the traits that they have that I kind of possess. I mean, like, even the way I hold my bag and stuff like that. But I would say that, on average, I possess more of my father's traits than my mother, I guess because I'm a man. And also, I think...
I'm so sorry. Actually, it'd be cool to just don't become old boss Ross.
Yeah, don't become old boss Ross. And I got a recommendation that said, and I want to see if this actually works. Can I just put? If I do not. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So I just. Hello?
Yes. Are you okay? What happened?
You know what?
What happened?
Yeah, I put do not disturb on the thing. Does that mean people can't call in?
I don't think so. I think that I might be wrong. Do not disturb.
Yeah. I just put do not because and actually one angry recommended that I put the do not disturb.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Thing. And but it's interesting. Like, I mean, people don't necessarily change that much, and I think though people do change their politics from time to time. But it takes time, and it takes sometimes some real life experiences for people to change their outlook on life.
Now, did you not take One Angry Juice call because you want to make a change, or or are you just afraid to tell him what you think?
No. I've told him what I thought.
But he keeps doing.
He's not calling me anymore because I put do not disturb on my Skype.
That may be the difference. Yes.
So is he calling you now?
No. Yeah, he has called, but we could always pull him into the call, or at least try to call him back, and if he wants to come in, then great. If not, wait it out until we're ready.
And I think I'm going to be a messy person all my life. I don't think I'm ever going to change and not be a messy person. I think that's just something that has just been ingrained in me, and it's
now something you can change. Now, you don't necessarily have to be ultra clean. Now, you could take now will you always be irresponsible is more of the question, because really, if you are super responsible, you could just have it wiped out. You could just have a real professional crew come in and pay them every week maintenance your place. You could do that. It wouldn't break the bank.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? You could pay to, you get a secretary if you say you have a lot of paperwork you can't get through, you want to keep that organized, you're messy, then you have a secretary that's doing your paperwork. You could have, what I'm saying? I don't mean just you, but a person who's disorganized. I could be. I'm not super messy, but I could let things, my personal bills and stuff, I could let that go. But when I'm so concentrating on. So I'm concentrating so hard on doing all my other professional paperwork, and by the time I get to my own personal stuff, sometimes I'm too tired to want to do it. So those are tough things to change. Really difficult. I've tried I've been trying since the day I realized I was really kind of a messy person. I've always tried to improve on that, but it's so frustrating. You know how frustrating it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's very difficult.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that helped me was changing one thing at a time. Just like you cut out carbonated drinks from your diet.
Yeah.
When I met you, you were doing 2-liter bottles all the time. Like, you always had a 2-liter bottle. Multiple. Yes. You had multiple 2-liter bottles. You don't do that anymore. You have water around.
I drink water, and I drink seltzer water. But yeah, I've cut. That's a good point.
Humongous change. You don't realize it, but you made it.
And I reduced my sugar intake.
Yeah,
dude. When I eat things now, the diabetes is so bad that I had pasta yesterday, and I felt like I was dying.
Oh boy!
It was like I just felt really fatigued and stuff, and the less I eat, the better I feel. And that's mainly with the diabetes.
Yes. But that's not just diabetes, right? If I ate like shit 4 days in a row, I wouldn't be able to get up for work on the 5th day. I mean, it really wears me down over a week. So it's part of my exercise, it's part of everything, is that if I want to make it to the finish line this week, I better eat the right way, at least somewhat. I don't have to be perfect, but I have to instill certain things into my diet. If I don't do that, it burns me out for sure.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. So this is such a wide range, such a huge target here. Can people really change? Was there something really specific you were trying to key in on?
You know what? I was just thinking. I was thinking a little bit about my old man, and he did change. Like, he changed a little bit at the end of his life, and he kind of came clean on a few things, and kind of sad to a degree, because he never he got as brutally honest as I've ever seen him, and he would never it's something he would never do while he was, healthy.
Vital, right.
Vital, healthy, and it's like, I think, because someone told me before, who was my mother's friend, more my mother's friend than my father, but my father kind of latched on after my mom passed away. And she said, a lot of times it's only when they're dying that they become really humble. And that was true. He did. He became, at the end of life, you kind of realize that ego and everything else, man, that just goes out the window, dude. I mean, he was just a person who was bedridden, mm-hmm. and was, all the things that, there was one point where all of his ego protections that he had just fell by the wayside, and he was just brutally honest and said, all the things he did wrong and everything that, he wishes he wouldn't have behaved and acted. He was as brutally honest as I've ever seen him. There were things he wouldn't cop to maybe if I pushed him on it, but he became, as brutally honest as I've ever seen. And I think sometimes when people have, life-changing events, that are kind of traumatic, it does change you, and it changes the way you see reality in things. So,
I tend to think that it's more, it's impacting your sense of urgency rather than just. Anyways, just a thought. Do you have any calls, or is anybody trying to call in? I thought I just heard something.
Well, I put my show on. I put it on. Someone's. You know what? Debbie put a YouTube video and said to watch, so I will watch.
Turn it down, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Please, so I'm going to watch this video.
Please.
Oh.
What are you doing?
This is the guy. For 15 years, doctors told me that he couldn't walk and never walked unassisted. And that's not me yet. This guy, I think, is half Asian too, by the way. He's a 47-year-old disabled veteran.
Mr. White will never change.
Now, he was a paratrooper, and he took a lot of jumps. And I've seen this video, by the way.
Darren has changed a lot since his brain surgery.
Darren has had brain surgery.
Yes, I think he had a frontal lobotomy. I'm not sure exactly. May have been a medial lobotomy.
You know what's changed for the worse, by the way?
What's that?
If I can say, is Blog Talk Radio.
Oh my God. It has changed for the worse.
I have watched. No, Debbie, that's not the first time that I've seen that. It is inspirational. It shows you.
Mr. Midnight Movie's seen that. I hadn't seen it, but can you share your screen and then how long is it?
All right,
Let's just make her, or just tell me what. I don't care.
All right, if you want to watch it, I'll share my screen with you. Hold on. Here we go.
Jesus, just shut up. Shut up and play the video.
All right, hold on.
Go do it. I think I showed you that video before. It's not long. It's not long at all, Mr. Midnight Movie.
I think he looks a little bit like half Asian guy, but he's fatter and out of shape. But he's an actual veteran,
right?
Someone we should be proud of, unlike half Asian guy who is like, anyway.
Mr. Midnight Movie, just shut that Jew up.
What are you doing?
Yes. For 15 years, doctors told me I would never whack off again. Okay, I would never walk again.
Unassisted. Half Asian. I accept this as fact. I was a 47-year-old disabled veteran.
And had basically given up.
Standing in front of a cornfield.
I was injured as a paratrooper in the Gulf Wars. Too many jumps took its toll on my back and my knees. My knees hurt too. I gained weight. Yeah, good look at you. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Weight.
A lot of weight.
Wouldn't have given up to.
Would you have given up to?
Yes. I couldn't walk. I couldn't run. I couldn't walk or run. Exercise seemed impossible. Most yoga instructors turned me away.
Go away.
But one.
He sent me those first two pictures on the knee braces, the back brace, the canes, 297 pounds.
Oh, for God's sakes, turn it down.
I was thinking, God, I'm going to help that guy.
There we go.
But he believed in me when no one else did.
When you feel so tired you can't sleep.
Glutes. Arms. Stand tall, my friend. Stand tall.
Yes.
I fell many times. Timber.
But I got back up.
Oh, come on. He looks like he's acting. This looks like that half Asian guy, man.
By the way, let me stop this real quick. Half Asian guy said when he lost his job, he gained a lot of weight. And in the interview with Jew from San Francisco, I think Jew from San Francisco is really inspired by half Asian guy. He just said, "Man, I needed a job," and he said he started bawling and crying like a little girl. Have you ever cried at a job interview, JP? JP, you be honest with me.
I never cried per se. I was fired. I was fired from a job, and I was so mad that my eyes started to well up. But I held it together.
Did you ever Did you ever cry in front of other people, like in a begging manner, going, Have you ever cried in front of a girlfriend that was breaking up for you? Have you ever pined like a little bitch?
I've cried with girls. I've cried before around females. Yes.
Okay.
Not during a breakup. No, breakups absolutely not. Breakups suck, but they don't make me cry. They're just like you're just trying to figure out which way is up and down. You're just trying to figure out the best escape route possible to get away from it.
I didn't cry, but I did maybe stalk a little bit, and then I tried to kill myself. But nothing too horrendous. All right, folks. Let's go back to this half Asian guy trying to not fall on his face.
I don't know why that's so funny. It's not funny. Come on, people. Stop laughing. I know you're out there laughing right now. Stop.
Laugh with the sinners and cry with the saints. Come on.
It's better to laugh than to type out LOL anyways.
All right, here we go.
I've lost so much weight that if I don't hold these up, they'll fall. And I'm not going to do that right now. But
let's take you on the court, buddy. Okay, go ahead.
I'm really pleased with this.
Whip it out.
Whip it out. Let's see it. He's showing his pants.
He's gone down many pant sizes.
Yeah.
Loses weight. Good for him, man.
You'll never try, you'll never know. Here's where I'm at now. What just because I can't do it today, I'm not going to be able to do it sometime.
They're showing him wipe out, and I mean he's determined, but these wipeouts are classic.
He's walking with a cane. He's in better shape than my old man is. Well, when he was.
This is the hardest thing, man. Getting that walking back. Shit.
He lost 100 pounds.
Most important of all, there he is running. Oh, he's sprinting.
So things are possible. Never underestimate what you can accomplish. When you believe in yourself, never
give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
About time to shave off that beard, though.
I will try to fix you.
Oh, there we go. His name is Craig. And you know what? Just for that.
People can change.
I think I'll bring her on for that. You see,
Craig. Craig really overcame every obstacle that he came across.
Yes, he did.
He was inspirational. He would be inspirational to you if you watch the video out there in the chat room.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, he reminded me of the half Asian guy a little bit.
So seeing if he's there,
Yes.
yes, to see if people do change. Probably not going to answer though.
Who are you calling?
Calling Debbie. She's the one who got the video. She's not going to answer.
I know, but I thought you were going to call somebody that's changed.
Well, you're right. She's not even answering. She won't pick up. She won't pick up on the call. I think she was upset by our laughter.
When I see that video, the last person I think of is Debbie Daly. That doesn't mean I don't think she should call. Yes. Where are you calling me at? She's asking me, where did you call her?
I called her on Skype.
What? Debbie? Do you want to meet us in a voice room on Discord?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't think she should call.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, what was
On Skype.
Are you playing that?
Oh, wait, did you answer?
I answered.
I don't think she answered. I don't think she's coming on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ah, there you are.
So, in your years of life, Debbie, have you seen people change for the better or worse?
Yeah, what are some of the biggest changes you've ever seen? And, give us an example of both. Somebody who's stayed exactly the same and somebody who's made a profound change.
For the better and the worse.
That's a good question. I've seen. I don't know. Probably people not changing, I guess. I don't know.
You know who's changed a lot is Dr. B. He hasn't really kind of gotten to where he should be, but he's definitely striving to change. And I've noticed some changes in him over time.
Yeah, when he first came on my show, we talked about it. He's very autistic, and as you know, the number one thing with autism, when you're on the autism spectrum...
Debbie, who are you talking to about autism? Come on. Come on.
Anyway, what they have is they have problems in social situations. Have you ever noticed that Dr. B will only laugh when I laugh? If I laugh,
yeah, I like I said, I've noticed his changes big time.
It's helped him to be on the show, I think, is what he says. So, have you noticed changes in people, JP?
Tons of every day. Absolutely. That's what I do. If I don't see it, I have a problem with that. But,
What do you think that's what you do?
Well, in my life, I've had years and years of experience in working with people on achieving goals. I'll leave it at that. And goals are measurable, and that's what I do is I design goals. That's basically one of my niches, and so when you create measurable goals and you see people accomplish the objectives and nail the goal or achieve the goal after a certain period of time, then you see the change. It's measurable. It's noticeable. You could see it. You could hear it. It's real. It's not.
But don't you believe that goals should be set one day at a time?
Well, again, it varies. Yeah, I think for most typical people, absolutely. If you can achieve new goals each day, continuously, multiple times in a day, then you are an overachiever. If you're, you know what I mean. So it's certainly a spectrum.
I remember one time when I was quitting smoking about 6 or 7 years ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, it is a spectrum disorder for sure.
Do it.
I said that's a spectrum disorder. I don't mean disorder in like a mental health term. I just mean like smoking is something that you can change the behavior and it's measurable. It's a good example.
Well, I had a friend of mine that I worked with. He was an attorney, and he had a father who owned an insurance agency up in North Texas, and he was a real old man. He got on the phone one day, and he goes, "I'll tell you what, I'll quit with you." I said, "Okay." He goes, "I'm going to call you in 15 minutes. Don't smoke for 15 minutes." And I said, "Okay." And he was taking it like 15, and he would go, "Now I'm going to call you at 12:30. Don't smoke until I call you." And then he would call me then, and it was just like a little bit at a time, and it was really a cool thing.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've heard that. I think you may have mentioned that to me before. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, remember? Well, we've been together so long.
Yeah. I've heard that before, but I think I heard different parts of it this time, so that's cool. I mean, that's... Mr. Midnight Movie...
Where did Mr. Midnight Movie go?
I don't know. He ran away once you started talking.
No. I am listening.
But this isn't a show about listening. It's a show about talking.
Yeah, you're right. No, I was listening while Debbie was talking. But I wanted to say that I didn't realize the changes that I made until actually the show started. I didn't realize that, because I used to drink.
Wait, that's right. I remember Mr. Midnight Movie would come on my shows and go, no.
That's right. Big change.
I've been really sick. I had the flu.
Oh, no. Yeah, the cough is the worst. I hate cough.
Oh, my God. It's the last part of it. And I'm all nasally and stuff like that.
I'm a little nasally, too.
You really got a lot tougher, Mr. Midnight Movie, and you got better. A lot better.
Yeah, and I never thought about the first time that I was on Blog Talk, and when JP and I first started.
Oh, hold on. By the way, I'm reading that Debbie is over modded, so yeah, you are coming in super loud. I don't know why that is.
It's not me, because I've got the LED lights, and
Well, I just turned you down a little bit. Hopefully that works. So if everybody out there, if you hear it and it's still over modded, let me know. I think I fixed it on my end.
I think for what Jewish holiday is coming up next, I think I'm going to get Jewish producer an even better quality sound system, so he can, Uncle Maury can stop giving him hell. But what was I going to bloviate about? Yeah, like I said, I remember when I first started with Blog. I mean, I remember when JP and I first started with Blog Talk, and a half-an-hour show was absolutely a struggle for us to get going. It was almost impossible.
I was so nervous calling into my show, and I said, "Mr. Midnight Movie, just talk to me. Don't think about anything else. Just talk to me."
And you know what? I think now it's like you're not gonna, you're not always gonna have something profound to say if you're doing a show, and that's not the way. That's kind of not the way it's done. So, you kind of learn as it's going on, and it's And like I said, with my eating habits, I have changed with drinking soda, and I don't eat as much sugar. But it is still kind of my Achilles heel is sugar in.
It's hard. It's hard.
Oh man, yeah, sugar like.
Thank you. What? Come tell me. Listen to the baby. Listen. Come here. Come tell me. What? Food. Okay. Thank you. He's only 2 years old. Mika, food. I am so hooked on ordering Grubhub. Mr. Midnight Movie, you've got to do this. Well, you've got to order the good stuff, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, but it's
eating good has never been so easy.
I do it. We ordered tonight from, let me tell you what I ordered.
Tell us what you ordered. What did you get?
We ordered from, here it is, food delivery. Okay, we ordered from On the Border. I got Caribbean mango grilled fish.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Watch out, though. Don't eat too much mercury. Just kidding. Go on.
I got Victor Carne Asada. Okay. Sweet. Now listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
Caramel churros. See? It's the sugar.
Yeah.
So I got those things that are made out of cinnamon and bread, and they've got, they're really good because it was right there on the fucking menu, and they just delivered it. So anyway. Yeah. What else do you have? I mean, I can do lots of stuff. I can do red lobster, eat fish and steamed vegetables.
Yeah, even, to be honest, I was just reading the mercury levels and all the fish. Even fish, you can't even eat that much. You can't eat too much of it. You know what I mean? You can't sustain your diet on fish alone, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would. I love fish so much, but I limit my fish. I'm really kind of going for it. My diet. I couldn't be happier with the way my diet's gone. No more red meat only on very, very rare occasions. Like when I go to dinner with Mr. Midnight Movie, I can always expect red meat to be on the table. So,
Mr. Midnight Movie, you should do the keto diet. It is it's unbelievable.
Keto. What the hell is that?
A girlfriend of mine that has in 1 month has just shed like 20 pounds, and you get to eat everything you love. All you eat is butter, steak, bacon, burgers, steak, burgers, hamburger. That's all you eat is meat and
it's Dr. Oz. It's got to be bad for you.
No, it's not. And here's the thing: because our body is used to going to sugar for energy, and when it's not there, it goes to the fat cells and it just melts off of you.
You know whose diet can change 180 degrees, Debbie? Jewish producers. Her diet is she's from the Midwest. She's from Michigan, and
is she doing that?
She started with the keto diet.
How did she do?
Well, she's done amazing. She's dropped, but she changed in the middle. She doesn't do it anymore. She cut red meat out all together. I never thought it would happen. Dairy gone. Sugar, cutting like a quarter of her sugar intake that she was doing before. Like everything, she just eats way less, way less, and that was everything for her. She's like already like, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm not even kidding. And at first it's very discouraging for people to hop on any diet. And this is, I'll tell you something. I've told every person I've ever met who's going on a diet has later said to me, you know what, I thought about that and it made a lot of sense. It's happened many times. And I always tell them, if you start a diet today, right, imagine, and you're 44 years old, you've lived your life, 44 years of living. How many years did it take you to get from your ideal weight to where you are today? That's a long time, probably a course of 20 years in many cases. So it's going to take time for it to come back down. So in other words, you're not going to lose everything in 6 weeks.
It's better that we retrain how we eat. Like
you got to. You absolutely have to.
First, I'm going to start out by cutting out carbonated drinks. Then I'm going to.
But before you do that, you got to break it down and not make it scary. It's always daunting. Like people are always looking at like wanting to look great. You don't want to work from here to looking great. You want to get, you know what I mean? You want to be there, but you have to work. So there's so much work in between where you are now and your ideal. So that just getting that mental preparation in your mind is everything. Once you're prepared mentally to stay focused on that, not just for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, we're talking about lifestyle change, real change, reperceiving everything that you put into your body and how your body's going to react. And you just know 6 weeks, your bodies might not even change at all. It might not be might not even be budging that fat or whatever it is you're losing. But over time, 6 months, 7 months, all of a sudden you're looking in the mirror and you're like, wow. And you realize then that's the point where you go back and, okay, I cut out all those sodas. I cut down sugar. I cut down all these things, and that worked. And now 6 months later, it's noticeable to me. Finally. That's kind of what I see, that the successful dieters, they've all had that experience.
It's true that it takes 21 days to break a habit or to make a habit.
And I don't buy into any of that shit. I mean, it could be, there might be statistic evidence of that.
By the way, I am looking right now.
It's all about mental preparation, I think.
Louise X has all these different type of pancake recipes. And oh my God, they look amazing. and just delicious. Do you like pancakes, Debbie?
I love pancakes. Yes.
What do you like on them, by the way? What is your syrup and your
Well, I like natural syrup that is from like where Joe is in Canada. We've got some of that. It costs like $25 for this one bottle. And then I like berries are delicious. And if I want to go crazy late at night, chocolate.
JP, are you a person of pancake? Do you enjoy the pancake?
I love good buttermilk pancakes. Yeah, there's a certain way of making them though that I like, and I've only gone to a few restaurants that make it the way I really like it. The rest I could deal with, but also when it comes to waffles, I know that's a whole different subject, but I have a whole conversation. I could revolutionize the waffle industry with one swing of the bat. That's all I need is a chance. Any investors out there want to hook me up, I will. I have the revolutionary answer to perfecting waffles. It's so easy. I can't believe nobody's thought of it.
By the way, I love when pancakes. When you make a pancake and then you put all the syrup and the butter.
Oh yeah.
And then and sometimes I'll cut a hole in the middle. I'll get 3 pancakes and I'll cut a hole right in the middle.
Oh, nice.
The syrup in the middle.
Is that the ambulance coming to get you? You having your first heart attack of the night?
And then I let it sit there and just savor. So when I bite into my pancake,
my diabetes. I've fallen and I can't get up.
When I would bite into my pancake, I would taste the syrup, the butter, and just it would be like my taste buds were given an orgasm.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say a mouth orgasm.
We both thought that.
We
both knew.
So it just is the savoriness. And see, so Debbie she's on the keto diet. She doesn't have to,
So you're new to the keto diet, Debbie? That's what you're doing?
I'm having fish with rice right now and steamed vegetables as we talk.
And of course, she's not craving ice cream or any candy or sweets right now at all.
Well, I'm used to following orders from my dad. I was raised in that kind of environment. So when my doctor said, cut the bullshit out, I was like, yes, sir. So I have to do. Do I want this? No, I would love to have something else.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because man, I could feel. When I'm fasting, I feel so amazing, and then I'll eat.
You sound good as fuck tonight. You sound good as fuck. I told JP last night in Discord, I said, I'm worried about Mr. Midnight Movie. I said, he doesn't sound good, and I've known him for years. And what I meant by that was, hold on, let me swallow. What I meant by that is your breathing. Whenever you would start talking, I could hear you go like, I could just tell that it was laboring you to talk, and it was really bothering me. And that's all I said. I know that some people twisted it and said all this crazy shit, and it was not said by me. All I said was I'm concerned about him.
I had eaten too much.
I could tell. I could fucking tell. You sounded like you were going to die. Not die, but you sound like you're like, oh, fuck, I'm so, so... It was like, well, and
it affects his thinking too. I think also when you're thinking about it, how can you concentrate on even a simple conversation? Tonight, it's a different story. You're totally engaged. You're here with us. Last night you weren't. You were gone, and that was very frustrating for me. I was like, what's going on with this?
Me because Brian, you're too young to throw in the towel, and you're too young to do that. I want you to stay around for a while. Fuck, you know what I mean?
But
what?
I think I just heard someone make a comment on Facebook. But now changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait! I have a question. Yeah. What did you do to Egg Boy to get banned from his show, from his chat room?
All I did, it was not Egg Boy. It was one of the more liberal shows. And as I was making a comment, the thing said you can no longer make comments. So I think it was that page, that particular show, probably has monitors. And you know what? I really can't believe that people are thinking, even though the guy said comments that may have, and I'm not sure everything that he said about the Christchurch shooting, which was horrific. Even with that being said, that young man should not have done what he did. He was wrong, and he's lucky. If it had been me, I would have punched. That kid. He's of a certain size. I don't know if he's a kid.
It doesn't matter, Brian. When you put yourself, you and I have talked before. If I come up and punch you, and I hit like, if you come up and punch me, I punch you in the face, I've got whatever's I've got coming, right?
Well, one of the gentlemen, I forget his name, Ron, who I shared the tweet with, and I asked him what he thought of Egg Boy, and he said, when you start a fight, you don't get to, make the parameters. And this kid started a fight. When you put your hands on someone and assault someone, you're starting a fight with him. But that gets to my other point. Politically, I wonder how often people change politically from, how drastic people change. Because I think I've made a few changes in my political, but I've always been somewhat fiscally conservative. And I think on average, more people change, if they do change, to more conservative than liberal, because liberal is more immature, and it's not as thought out as conservative thought is, particularly on the economic level and on the realistic level. I mean, in a lot of ways, conservatism is, at least from my perspective, it's a more mature way of looking at things.
Right. But, these kids nowadays, they don't think like, I'm talking about the 25 and under group. They don't think like we think.
Well, they don't now, but I've heard of plenty of liberal. Like Reagan at one time was a liberal. John Wayne even said that he was a liberal at one time. And I think I hear more. There are a few people who were at one time conservative who turned to be liberal. And actually, I remember there was a few there was one Black Lives Matter protester who was at one time a Tea Party protester, and then she became part of the ego politics kind of thing. And kind of the black. I call Black Lives Matter. It's an ego. I consider it kind of an ego thing, but
unbelievable.
But yeah.
What do you think should happen to the little bastard?
I would, and it may sound sadistic, but I wouldn't mind seeing that kid be caned.
What would you do if he cracked an egg on your head if you were out at a protest like Antifa with JP?
If someone did that to me, I would probably, I wouldn't have slapped him. I probably would have punched him.
That senator, I think, was trying to.
I would have probably kicked him and punched him and then kneed him. I would have done a combination on him of a kick.
A roundhouse?
No, not a roundhouse. No,
Oh, no, not the roundhouse, Debbie.
Yeah, the roundhouse.
Like his arsenal is so complex. No.
I have a few good kicks. My punches, and then I might just stick my knee into his chest and then
donkey punch. Do a donkey punch.
Yeah, and maybe hammer fist him in the temple or something. I might have really went off. I might have really went off on him.
Yes, that would have angered you. You went off on Fat Faggot when he ate your sandwich.
Yeah. When I was sleeping, and
I've heard this story before. Go ahead and tell it.
It's violent, Debbie. You sure?
Best story in the world. Shut up. Do it.
I'm napping, and I just had my sandwich in my hand, and then he just took a bite out of it. I wake up and I see less of my sandwich, and I see him moving his fat face. I was infuriated. And there was another time, and this was another time, a homeless, not really, he was a derelict. He wasn't homeless, But I was doing my work, and this guy always came around me, and I had a sandwich in my hand. And it wasn't the only. This was the second time that someone had taken a bite out of my sandwich. And this guy, and I used to offer him food, and he became a real jackass. And he went, like, I was talking to somebody with a sandwich in my hand, and the guy went right up to me and took a bite out of it. And I threw the sandwich at him, and I was ready to go to blows, but I was at work.
Now, recently, you've kind of come to terms a little bit with Fat Faggot. Am I right?
Well,
you're more civil. You're returning to civil.
Well, have you ever seen Mr. Minette movie get in a fucking fight, JP?
Not yet. Very close.
If you don't film it, I'll kill you.
I want to see it.
I bet he's one mean, crazy motherfucker when he gets mad.
You know what? I can't see him getting into a fight. Maybe a fight of the mind. That I've seen many times with Mr. Solution.
At my age, and I'm much slower now. I mean, I would not want to, I would, because, I'm almost 50 and, I'd want to end it rather quickly. I don't, because I'm not,
You don't want to dance around the ring figuring out a strategy. You want to TKO immediately.
I want to end it, but I mean, when I'm angry, I don't know, the adrenaline's pumping and this and that. And when someone smashes an egg on your head, that's such a disrespect, and it's such a violation of your human rights that I would just, I don't care what someone says to me. But
that senator looked like he was going to kick his ass.
Yeah, he was raging.
Yeah, he was raging, and he should have raged. Because
go to YouTube on the search engine, type in the words "egg boy," and look who's number 3 on the list.
Is it me?
Fucking A. Go look. Just type in "egg boy" and hit enter.
Oh my God! Well, it's because I'm the newest. Let me look here.
Boom. Egg boy is a scumbag. Number 3. That's big. Number 3. What the fuck?
I'm not 3 on the list, Debbie. I don't see myself number 3.
Okay, go to YouTube and type in "egg boy." One word. Don't do 2 words. Do one word.
Okay.
In YouTube. Okay.
EGGBOY, enter.
Negatory. I'm not.
You're number 3. I'm going to screenshot it. You're number 3, egg boy. And I just put in
it's not coming up on mine either, darn it. It might just be that we're possessing your computer.
Nah, I'm going to show you on Imager.
Damn it.
You know what? I got no views.
You're number 3. Number 3. That was just by I was just going to try to find this thing for you.
Yeah, I really should have taken the audio and added some imagery to it. We'd probably get a lot more hits.
All right, here you come. Here comes what I saw, and I haven't done that. I haven't had you. It's not like my history picked it up or anything like that. Is what I'm saying. It's just, it happens because I put in egg boy. There's 1, 2, and then the 3. That sounds stupid. 1, 2, and 3. What is today? Here you are. And where is that? Screenshot. There you go.
I don't think the hits have registered yet, but because it still shows no views, but I know for sure people have looked at it. So the numbers, I think we're shadow banned on YouTube so bad.
That might be true. Now, I wonder, by the way, if these tech giants are, if they're ever...
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I'm just curious if the tech giants are going to change their tune about censorship, or if they're going to double down and get worse.
They're getting worse, I think.
Yeah, and I think because they don't want...
click that link, and look.
Where's the linky dink? Let me see here.
Boom, number 3. I just put an egg boy and hit enter, and there you came up. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it'll be good. It would be good if it would be good if.
Will you shut up? Either say it or don't, man. Stop doing that.
Shut up, JP. He's always got his mind on something else.
I'm gonna, maybe can't really finish my sentence right now. I'm like thinking about this video and got something else in my mind. I'm kind of hungry. Got to pee. You're asking me a question. Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That was it.
Well, okay. Debbie thinks it's going to get worse. JP, do you see some of the... Because I think Jack Dorsey seems to be willing to change, but I don't think...
How so?
Concentrate. Stay with us. Jack Dorsey.
He just seems like he's open to it. Maybe he's lying. I don't see the attorney or the person who is in charge.
Thank you for keeping him in line there, Debbie. That worked.
I don't see the person who's in charge is changing as much, but I do see Jack, and I definitely do not think Susan Wojcicki, the head of YouTube, is going to change. And by the way, let me add, JP and I tried to do a show simulcast on Blog Talk Radio, and we weren't able to. And JP,
I was setting up the show tonight. It wouldn't let me, and I tried 5 times. It just wouldn't let. Something different would go wrong on the page. It was so weird, Debbie. So I said, I give up. Why don't you try it? So he tried it, and sure enough, he wasn't able to get through either. It was down. The whole site was down.
Yeah.
From 6:30 to 7:15. I mean, I know that's their busy time, so sure they may have had a ton of, but it was really weird how they do that. Like we just every time I tried to log in, something different wasn't working on the page. It was so annoying. They should just tell you, like, sorry, we're at our capacity, or Blog Talk Radio does so many dumb things to piss off customers. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Same with Spreaker.
Because Alan Levy got out of it.
But all these things are such common sense fixes. Something tells me that the fix is in. Like there's a reason.
Any shows hardly, so their servers aren't being clogged up.
And tell me this, okay? If you ran a website that had all podcasting, right, like Spreaker does, wouldn't you change things up like almost every day? How hard would that be to, promote new podcasts every day? Do something. This is the most stale website. They never change a fucking thing.
Hate it. Every time you turn on the motherfucking live now, all you see is that goddamn. What is it? That only thing you see practically that. What's it called when you go to there and you go to watch? Let me show you what I'm talking about. You go to Explore. And then you go down to Live Now, and there it is, that goddamn Lex and Terry or KGRA make contact.
Right.
Like
same
Cannabis Radio. Cannabis Radio.
Give me a break. What does it mean to? How stupid is that? How? I mean, tell me. At this point, I know it's got to be on purpose. They must know. Okay, we've had the same podcast pictures, all the same. Images and shows up on the front of the marquee now for at least a year consecutively. You're telling me those things never change? They change? Are you kidding me? It's all done on purpose.
I think they should take the shows that are 24-hour feeds and have them on a different search.
They shouldn't be included in this at all. It's so ridiculous. But common sense, right? That's like so dumb. It's like. That's the first thing I would think of to fix that. If they really, really, really gave a shit. So something tells me Spreaker and Blog Talk Radio, they just don't give a damn about anything. They don't care about anything except making sure their hosting is kind of working and they collect their monthly fees. I mean, that's it. They don't do anything like to service us. Besides hosting, which I get it. That's expensive. But I mean, are you kidding me? It's the lamest thing. Nothing changes. There's no promotion of podcasts.
It used to. Remember when I would go on to Live Now and my show would start up like in the number 2 spot or the number?
Yeah, for a short while it was doing that. Yeah, we hit number 1 in one of the categories for a short while.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I remember that you went up. We were all like really high up in the rankings, and then all of a sudden it was like
you're on the you're 1 row, 2 rows, 3, 4, 5. You're pretty down there for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I challenge all these podcasts to a podcast off. Screw them. They suck. They should be Blog Talk Radio should be promoting people that are like putting in the time, paying them.
What's ahead of you? What's ahead of you is Radical Music Mix.
Right. What the hell?
God.
That's not
music. It's all music,
and it's all crappy music stuff that I go and turn on and listen to on my radio. You got to be kidding me.
Idiots.
Oh, it's so stupid. All the music shows should just go in a big bucket of crap. They should stay there.
This is kicking your ass right now. Listen.
Girl, I can't buy you a big diamond ring.
Are you fucking
kidding me? What?
It makes my head hurt.
What?
44 likes.
The Rhinestone Cowboy is ahead of us. That's terrible.
And they're all speaking like Spanish or something.
Yeah, a lot of Spanish-speaking shows.
Snark Out of Oz is in there. 12 months ago. Wait a minute. What? 12 months ago? This has been... Okay, see, this is one of those stupid fucking idiots that are 24 hours a day. The last comment was like 11 months ago. That's horrible.
Yeah. Come on.
But they're kicking your ass. You know what I mean? And my ass,
but
too.
But that's not helping. I don't understand how Spreaker benefits from that, from not doing so. Wouldn't they benefit from having, like, you know what I mean? Like, we would get so much attraction if they would just show, like, I don't care if it was one day out of all the days, but at least give other podcasts a chance. It'd be so cool to see Todd Morris. Listen to Todd Morris, Prankville USA at 7 o'clock, or I don't know. I don't know what they would need to
by the way, one of the number one. Okay, right now, hold on a second, folks. The number one live show, and I'm going to play it live. It's got about 36 minutes remaining. Is the National Socialist Movement, and I just want to.
This is the number one show in what is it? What category?
Blog Talk Radio Speaker.
Right. Here we go. And you think they would have? Let's see.
Is it Blog Talk Radio or Speaker?
It's Blog Talk.
Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. Right. You're diluting what the original strength of this organization is. You can't. I mean, you can tinker around the edges, but you don't want to get rid of core beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. And it's hindsight at this point. I'm not going to sit there and dwell on it. It is what it is. And Lord knows if I had been in the situation, I may have tried the same thing. But, call it hindsight, call it what you will. It's not going to be the way things are moving forward. Not as long as I've got anything to say about it. So anybody else out there got any comments? We're winding down here. I got about 25 minutes left before we get cut off here. I appreciate you guys coming in here and add some commentary into the show because, as I said earlier,
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And it's filled out. Anybody got any comments out there that's on the board? There's still a bunch of them on there. Push one on your keypad right now. Anybody who's listening via the internet, call into the show, area code 516-453-6058, option 1 on your keypad. Randall, I know. Is there anything else I can say to get people to come out here and set shit straight? I mean, I don't know what else I can say or do then to just clear the air right now.
I guess you're going to have to talk a little softer, nicer, I guess.
Is that Jimmy Lethal?
Now, guys, if you could come out of your fake faces and come in here to my show, that would be fabulous. We promise that we got some tiny stuffed animals over here. You guys okay?
Everybody's in the hidey holes.
Call me out. I'm not trying to be belligerent. I hate bullshit, and that's the fact of the matter is. I really, really hate nonsense. I hate liars. I hate
That's so weird, JP, because most people like bullshit.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Things are pretty cooled down right now, so hopefully they stay that way.
They have. It seems to have settled down now. Now everybody's fighting about religion, so they've got their mind off of the Stern thing now. So maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. Who knows, right?
It almost sounds to me like the people that are pissed off out there.
What did you say? Off the what? Off the Stern thing?
Yeah, pause it for a second, Mr. Midnight. Oh, he's probably taking a leak.
What do you mean? Oh, they're right. They were right there.
I mean, give me a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you telling me that keeping them at number one without other shows popping up there every other day or whatever, how does that benefit them? I don't get it. I think it's intentional. It's got to be intentional. They must do that for a reason. There's, you know what I mean? It's just weird to me.
I don't understand.
I know they're making money head over fist. I mean, come on. Is that how it goes? Fist over foot?
How many shows are live over there right now? Seriously.
Lots. Oh, a ton.
Get out of here.
At 7:00, that's when we couldn't get our show on. There's a ton of shows going on. A ton. It's hard to do a show at prime time.
That guy almost sounded like Ranger 75. No.
Was Ranger, I remember Ranger.
Oh, he got big and on the Bundy case. Not the Ted Bundy, but those ranchers that were.
Yeah, I remember. The Bundy Ranch.
Yes.
Try to push.
Now we got Real Patriot Radio.
We know this dude, right?
I think
we've met him a couple times.
We've seen these guys.
I've heard that voice. I know I have. Well, I just hate bullshit. Anybody can call in and
No, this next guy that Brian's going to play. He's we know this dude.
No, I'm not going to play.
You're not playing him?
I'm looking right now.
What are you doing?
I'm just right now. I'm looking right now.
What kind of crackpot researcher are you right now?
Cannabis Conversations. I'm just looking.
While you're looking, I'm going to play the number one show on Spreaker. It's called Intriguing Conversations. Here we go.
Oh, I can't wait.
Ready? Episode 9 coming at you.
Welcome to Intriguing Conversations, a proud part of the Pizza Plea Network. I'm Brian Thompson. On today's installment, I attempt to purchase one of my favorite songs from my local independent music store.
Music, how can I help you?
Hello, this is a music store, correct?
Correct.
I'm looking for a particular song on Kasingle.
Okay, you said on Kasingle?
Yes, single cassette.
Okay, it's a long shot, but I'll transfer you to somebody who can take a look over there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
This is an intriguing conversation, Jewish producer. Number one show on Spreaker. Of Spreaker's best. Number one. Sorry.
Ay.
I know. Not one chat room comment, one like, 129 plays, 265 downloads.
I know. I mean, come on, give me a break. Everybody should be getting numbers like that, though. It is mind-boggling how little traffic gets circulated to our shows. It just pisses me off. You'd think nobody listens to podcasts if you were to look at our numbers.
I just don't see how people get those kind of numbers without nobody in their chat room. Murderous Minors is one of the number one shows. And there's Something's Not Right. History Unplugged. You know where it says Spreaker's best? That's what I was looking at. I wasn't over on Blog Talk Radio. Anyway, that's all I was going to say. Did you ever get that, Brian, Mr. Midnight Movie?
Get what? Yeah, I mean, About the me being number 3 on the on YouTube.
No. The show you were looking for on Blog Talk Radio.
No, I stopped looking at that crap. I mean, I'm kind of pissed off that we weren't able to broadcast on there. It's just, it's unbelievable. I mean, we pay, I pay my money, and this kind of garbage is happening.
No shit.
It kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I was trying to have a perfect day, and it's just so hard to have a perfect day when something like that happens.
Here's a show on Spreaker called Movies.
How popular is that?
Let's take a look and see. He just went off the air. He has 0 likes, 0 chats. Well, it says 17 hours ago. Tom Malloy guest host. So I'm not sure. It doesn't have his numbers out there, so it's called Movies. But how much can you talk about that, though?
You know what I mean? There's so many movies that are out, and you know what? I was thinking this a while ago. What movies really are about people changing? And I think, let's see, my top, because I have my top 2, and I don't want to just say those 2. And you probably know the top 1 that I feel were
Broccoli.
What's that?
Broccoli.
No.
Okay.
I mean, he did change, but that, you know what? And I wasn't even going to consider that film. I just because it's so kind of predictable, and it's, I don't know. I mean, Rocky would be, if I were to do the top 3, Rocky would be number 3. Midnight Cowboy would be number 2, and Groundhog Day would be number 1.
Yes.
You're talking about movies about change? Wait, what's the...
Like about people changing.
I'd also, I'd like to throw in The Elephant Man as one of my top 5. Such an amazing movie from start to finish, and how he... with a little help, he was able to make some real critical changes, and then he died.
Yeah. What other films are great about, like, where people make human change?
I think a lot of people change for love. You know, they change for people, right? Like relationship type people changing, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You know what had a changing moment in it was the movie Planes, Trains. I mean, and there's always a film where people like the buddy cop, where they end up becoming good friends. What other changes in movies?
I think in A Clockwork Orange, they were trying to make a person change, and in the end, they found out with all the electroshock therapy and drugs and horrible programming, they still couldn't get. They couldn't change the spirit of Alex. He was always going to be that droog.
Now, what about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Have you seen Flight? Flight with my personal close friend, Denzel Washington.
No, I don't think I saw that.
He makes a drastic change in that movie. He is a horrible drunk, mistreats his wife, blah, 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 fuck. And at the very end, he is completely turned around.
Huh.
The last scene is amazing what he says. It is amazing what he says. It's a very powerful moment. The kid in Scent of a Woman. What about that old man? There was a crotchety ex-Marine that was like, hoo-ah! And then all of a sudden he becomes this little dumpling that's playing with the kids when the movie's over. Right?
Yeah, and you know what? It just struck me, the movie Saturday Night Fever.
Good. That's good. Yes, he changed.
He makes a big change. I mean, he makes, a fundamental change in that film.
Urban Cowboy. At the very end, they go, come on in, Bubba, and let's have a beer. And he goes, no, thanks, we're going to go home. Remember that, Urban Cowboy?
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I don't want, you know, in the Breakfast Club there was a change.
Oh God, that's right. The Breakfast Club was enormous with that shit. Everybody changed. Everybody, right?
Yeah.
The whole cast changed.
Willie says A Clockwork Orange sucked. I disagree. You couldn't be more wrong. Give me a break. So it may be an overrated movie to some extent, but it's still a great film.
In the film where there was a change, well, you know what? I remember the movie The Rapture. That I mean, not for smart, but there was a change. I mean, she became from an atheistic hedonist to a Jesus freak. Did you see anyone here see The Rapture?
I saw Left Behind. Is that the same thing? Maybe. No.
Who's in The Rapture? Is that the Ben Affleck movie?
No. Mimi Rogers.
Oh.
Okay. What about speaking of Mimi
Tom
Rogers?
Cruise's ex.
Good Will Hunting. He changed like a bitch. He was an asshole.
Yeah, to a point.
He did. Not Robin Williams.
You know what? I gotta say that film for me. I don't know why, and maybe it's because I don't like Ben Affleck or the other guy. Or Matt Damon, and I've never, you know, like I find those guys to be really pretentious, and I'm just not a fan of those guys.
It had a good story though.
I didn't like, you know, I really didn't like that film.
Really? Huh. What about Yoshi? I mean,
the dog movie?
Nobody changed in that film, though. Never mind.
No, you're right, and no one changed. And the thing is, yeah, the dog didn't want change.
Oh yeah, that's so sad. That poor fucking dog. I'll be right back. I got to go give something to Heather. Hang on, just one second.
Before you leave.
Uh-huh.
I think about my dog every day.
Ugh.
I wish I could see her again.
That's because you're feeling guilty, which you should.
Like, if you ever do that, like, would you give up? Like, you say you were living, you know, you had, you know, the dog. It's an apartment. What would you have done, Debbie?
Found a house.
I took in Hank in an apartment when I lived in a little crampy 2-bedroom apartment. I didn't care. I'm so different, Angel. I would have
found a rental situation that fit. I would have. But that's just me.
Right click. Go over to your desktop and hit your right click.
Why?
Oh wait, I'm going to show you.
Here's the thing, Debbie. I think I know what happened here. Mr. Midnight Movie had the perfect living accommodation set up for him, where he ended up getting his apartment. It really is perfect for his current lifestyle. I think that overrode having the dog.
Ibar couldn't have come. There's
no, it couldn't have come. But if the situation was different and he could have chosen a different place, I still don't know if he would have brought Ibar with, no matter where he lived. But that just is how it worked out. That place didn't accept pets anyways, so.
Well, when my mom passed away, her dog ran away. Just fucking ran away, tore out of the fence and left. So sometimes it really fucks up dogs. But I get itchy and crazy when I see the desktop like that. If you right click it and put shuffle by, and it'll make it all. See, I'm a neat freak and I can't stand disorder. I can't even look at that. It makes me feel weird. I have to have everything on my desk like perfect. I'm just like anal about it.
Yes.
What? I am.
No. I was just thinking and vegan. I was just looking at people going, you know, and I'm looking at people right now going vegan for a month.
Nah, vegan's bullshit. You don't want to live on that shit. What is it called? That white stuff? What's it called, Mr. Jewish producer? That white stuff that people live on when they're vegan. What is it called?
Tofu?
Tofu.
No, thank you on the tofu. I think that's what feminized all of Asia. too much soy.
Yeah. By the way, I want to take a look. This is 4 reasons people change. So I want to just play.
Do it.
4 reasons people change. Can you think of one, Debbie?
Love.
Good one. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I'll
go with work.
Here we go.
Nearest words in the dictionary for most people is the word change. But here's the thing with change. Change is absolutely inevitable. There's nothing you and I can do about it. It is coming. You're changing. I'm changing. But there are certain people that end up choosing to change. So what causes us to change? So today in this episode, I'm going to give you science behind changing for you to look at it and say, well, maybe I want to change my life as well. How do I go about doing this? So let's get right into it. First of all, 4 things cause people to change. You and I. Number 1 is intentional. You choose to change. It is intentional. I choose to lose weight. I choose to get married. I choose to stop my single habits. I choose to stop smoking pot. I choose to do certain things. I'm choosing to change. Number 2 is natural evolution. The 40-year-old version of you is going to be a lot different than the 30-year-old version of you, than the 20-year-old version of you, than the 10-year-old version of you.
He's just giving us generic reasons, like intentional, forceful. That's stupid. Get another one, boo.
Worst video ever.
He's one of those fucking workout freaks.
Yeah, he's trying to sell me some kind of I feel like he's going to sell me some kind of powder.
Look at the gear. Look at the gear that you can buy the red gear.
Yeah, buy a pound of this salt I've discovered in my backyard.
And my T-shirt. What does his T-shirt say, babe? What does it say? Enter. What does it say? Enter the.
Enter in the rear. I think it's.
Get another one. That one sucked dick.
All right, fine. By the way, did any of you? I think I tweeted to both of you. He had the gentleman who played, who was in The Godfather, and who was a mobster himself. He was. I remember him in the book Super Mob. But did any of you? And he talked about Marilyn Monroe and her death.
No. I never check my Twitter. I've got like 100 notifications. Was it good?
I thought it was rather interesting. By the way, my father.
Look at that one. It says, "Can people change their nature?" Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
But let me just say this. My father knew a gentleman by the name of Robert Schweitzer, who had supposedly married Marilyn Monroe, and he was one of the first people that wrote the book about her death, and he believed also that he was murdered because she was fooling around with the Kennedys. And from what this guy said was that Marilyn Monroe called Jack and said that he was going to spill the beans about the affair and stuff, and this doctor came in and basically, just gave her a heart attack or whatever. I forget which way he murdered her, but I remember that in the book. And I remember the one thing I remember about the book, it also had pictures of her nude and stuff like that, which I found, it was one of the reasons I would look at it. And then as I got older, I started to read the book, and it was kind of and I don't know what happened in that book, but it was a hardcover book. It was a large, tabletop book about Marilyn Monroe, and it was written by Robert Schweitzer. And he was a terrible actor, but the book he wrote was pretty fascinating. And I had never known, and I think I read it when I was 12 or 13, and I didn't really know how much controversy there was surrounding Marilyn Monroe's death. So I've been, and I mean the guy on the show, he talked about how the mob hated Kennedy because of his brother Bobby.
Yeah, because the father, Joseph Kennedy, had basically had the help of John Giussano to get Kennedy elected as a senator, and then his brother comes along, turns into the attorney general, and puts 200 mob bosses in jail, some of which were in the Giancana family.
Yeah.
They'll do that to the fucking mob. They'll kill you.
Damn straight.
Also, they were pissed off because, the mob controlled Cuba. In Cuba at one time, I mean, and also the Cuban Americans, a lot of them, they hate JFK because they felt that he messed up there, and that Robert was the one who told them not to invade Cuba and help with the anti-Cuban crisis there. Sorta.
That's about partially right, but yeah. They knew that he came from strong anti-Castro background, and when they fucked up the Bay of Pigs, which he allowed the Bay of Pigs, which was a secret invasion by the CIA, they made such a buffoon embarrassment of the whole thing. He fired the head of the CIA. He basically demolished he was wanting to demolish the FBI when they did that covert Operation Pig of Bay of Pigs. Mm-hmm. That was fucked up stuff, and they killed so many Cuban refugees, so many of them. It was horrible.
I think we have to do a show, but I mean, I think one of these days I will do a show about the Cuban.
I know so much about that stuff just because of what I do with Kennedy. That's all. I'm not a know-it-all at all, but I do know a lot about JFK, and without even looking it up and stuff, But Kennedy, huh?
Let's take a look and see, can people really change? And it might surprise you. This looks like crap.
So I started doing a little research on the word change in the last couple of years. And some of you have heard me share this before. So it's a very important part of this topic right now.
All right.
Burn off.
Here we go. Let's
get the burn off.
Hello there, and welcome to Bob Proctor here. I'm going to take you back in time and space by using this flip chart here. I know we've got all kinds of...
Hey, where'd you get that board at?
Office Depot. Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
You want this guy to kick your ass?
Stop it. You're going to make me start coughing.
This guy's got a sinister scowl on him, though. Look at that.
This thing can poke your eye out right out. You want me to draw a mustache on your face, young man?
Stop it.
Draw a little Hitler on you. How do you like that?
Really, with little mean eyebrows.
I will strike out at you.
Aw, we're so mean. Let him play.
How do you do this?
Have you ever wondered why you have many of the habits or idiosyncrasies?
Why is my wife fucking a milkman? We don't even have a milkman.
These are good questions. Have you ever wondered why you keep getting the same results over and over and over again?
Shut him off. Look at him.
Why aren't the 100 milligram Viagra still working?
What is go to Joe Rogan? He's a god. What does he say about it? Jordan? Oh, that's Jordan Peterson. Never mind. He talks too much.
Inside the school, earning millions of dollars in building giant organizations and doing all kinds of good all over the world. You ever ask yourself these questions? I do. In fact, I have spent the past 55 years asking those questions.
Wisdom. Don't talk when he talks.
All these things happen.
Why do these happen to me?
Explain paradigms in such a way that a child could understand it, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence.
Even a little baby can.
Now let's think for a moment.
I will come after your family.
Dr. J.B. Ryan said the mind is the greatest power.
I will draw pictures on their faces.
I just got back from Dr. J.P.'s office.
God is the greatest power. The mind is the greatest power in all of creation. God being the creator, mind is the creation.
The mind.
Now, let this here represent your subconscious mind. And this represents your body. Do you know your subconscious mind is programmed with something called a paradigm?
Can you get rid of Skeletor and his paradigm bullshit?
No.
I'm going to play 55. Shut up. Hold on. Let's listen to 55. Do you remember 55? Gorpin says 55.
What is your paradigm? This guy's got over 1 million views. Do you?
Girl, did you want to know a secret? No one, and it is so good to hear it. You want to know what it was? All right, I'll tell you what it was. I know how to count
to
all the way to
55. Mr. Midnight Movie, will you play 55 on the video so we can watch it? It's funny to watch.
Here, wait a minute. I like this even better.
Oh, party pooper.
Here we go. We'll play this real quick.
Hey, Los Angeles.
Why do they have a
Have your
commercial?
groceries delivered.
Don't play this commercial ever.
A for underwear. B for vegetables. C for seashore. D for telephone. E for idiot. F for police. G for zebra.
The obvious that nobody's going to change
This
on
is
this
so
show.
funny. Wow. Absolutely classic.
We're not going to change.
Immediately. N for knicker. O for hospital. P for full stop. Q for curiosity. R for army. S for D for station. U for Amitabh Bachchan. V for bike. W for vomit. X for example. Y for viper. Z for Superman.
Superman. All right. Mr. Midnight Movie, anything else before we get the heck out of here?
All right. So, people don't change.
If you want to keep going, keep going. I know I'm going to take a quick break otherwise.
No, you know what? No, I'm going to call. I think we should call it a day.
Yes.
You know what? You know what? And I want to say this. I have used this more from the power of the discipline of now, the Overcoming Procrastination book.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Perfection is the enemy of progress.
So very true. So very true. And I think that was something. I think I may have used that or a very similar quote for my my high school senior yearbook.
If you're looking for Mr. Perfect,
just saying,
the girl of your dreams. If you're looking for Mr. Perfect, you know. And how about this one? Live your dreams.
Yes.
Ignore them while they're being mean to someone else.
Live your dreams. Ignore
Live
them.
your dreams. I've been through the halls.
I've been there. I've walked through the halls. I've been sped at, shot at, stabbed.
Been through suicide attempts.
I'm not on the air. I've had hot liquid metal pulled over my head just for farting in class. And look at me.
Yes. I wonder if Katie D has changed at all.
No, I'm sure she's batshit crazy now with those kids she had. She named on Mr. Midnight Movie and JP.
Yeah, well, you know what? Good for her. Because, that's one person, I don't know. Was her boyfriend David Fiker? Did they ever date, by the way? Okay. I'm sorry I brought that up. I thought, because they're both in New York, aren't they? Never mind. Did I do something taboo?
No, I was just listening to you. Her baby daddy's name, his last name is, her name was Katie Davis. His name is also Davis.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She's not a brother, cousin?
I felt sorry for her. Those two little girls were not right. I felt so sorry for her. Shh, don't say anything, right? Play Bang Bang Bang. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds long. I'm going to play Bang 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 on the way out. Here's Bang Bang Bang.
I'll do it. Hold on.
I want to watch it. Watch Bang Bang Bang, JP. Watch Bang Bang Bang.
No, I'll do it. Bang Bang Bang. Here we go.
Do it. Sorry, I'm getting phone calls.
Is this it with Nicki Minaj?
Oh, third one down, the blue one, Group X. Do it.
I just want bang bang bang. I don't want relationship. I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang bang bang. I don't want to meet your mom. I just want bang bang bang. Hey, you drive me insane when you need that bang bang bang. Okay, Nanny, listen. I don't want to make sex, eat chocolate, look at animals, take walks. No. You come home and you say, Oscar, touch me down there. I like that. I don't think so, Annie. Don't have time, want to drink, cigarettes, does I need Annie? I tell you what, I just want bang, bang, bang. I don't want to talk to you. I just want bang, bang, bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang, bang, bang. I don't want relationship. I just want bang, bang, bang. Flesh, do I read his name when you give me that bang, bang, bang. Oh, hush here. Hush here, you look so good in that head. Why don't you give me love?
All right, that was okay.
Stupid.
Yeah, I thought it was lame ass. But you know what? I've heard that before.
I'm so happy. I just found out something very good for tomorrow. This is turning into one of the better weeks I've had in a long, long time. So good. So good. Are you working tomorrow, Mr. Midnight Movie?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Call in sick, dude.
I can't. There's no one else to take.
Paddle tennis. Come on, man. Let's play paddle tennis.
I want to beat your ass so bad in that game. I work until,
What time are you done? 2 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
Oh, God.
What? I think we should look at this.
Do it.
Go. Do it.
Play it.
Do it. Play it.
There's a... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Blocker, download that blocker.
The Art of Self-Defense? Really?
For classes. It's excellent news.
I hate Jesse Eisenberg. Come on.
Name, Casey Davies? Very feminine sounding name. Why karate? I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of other men. They intimidate me. I want to be what intimidates me. I want to be. This question's multiple choice. A, health and fitness. B, career opportunity. C, New Year's resolution. D, self-defense / traumatic experience. What if it's none of the above? Should I read the choices again? No, that's okay. A, health and fitness. This is your belt. It is yours. It is sacred. There'll be a $15 charge to replace a lost belt.
That looks good. I'm not a fan of Jesse Eisenberg, though. Maybe he can redeem himself with this role. Seems like a redeeming kind of role. Very nice role for him. Are you going to play a few? Can you play a few more of those while I take a quick break, Mr. Midnight Movie?
Just call it. I want to get to bed.
You sucker. Sucker.
I know.
You sucker. Thank you, Debbie, so much.
Bye, guys. Bye, Mr. Midnight Movie.
I think we're done. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So,
tonight was fun.
It's really hard for people to change, but little baby steps.
Well, folks, this is the best show.
Yes, baby steps it is. People can change. I've seen you change. I think the next time we visit this topic, we should talk about all the things you have changed instead of all the things you haven't.
And Jewish producer. Hello, son. Shut up.
Thanks for listening to Inflammatory Talk.
Nobody tackles. Hello, son.
Don't forget to listen to us every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Get off his bloviated fat enchilada ass and start talking about La Raza. Hello, son.
Jacking it. Pimp Daddy Joe Pete. Jacking it. Pimp Daddy Joe Pete.
Whipping the skippy all day long, all day long.
We're making a movie about white guilt. We're going to examine all these facts.